YA novel about the technicalities of writing? Are you for real? I'm on page 107 of Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This is my second book for the month of November, and I'm really loving it so much that I'm almost scared because my expectations are soaring through the roof. I really hope this keeps up the energy until the end. So, quick story that you didn't ask for. In my TBR video, I did talk about how I had sort of a falling out of love with YA phase several years back. During that time, it wasn't just because I was feeling like I am growing too old for the genre. I think the most major reason is because I felt like the YA books during that time, YA as a genre, is somehow, I don't know, congested, crowded, infested with books that were solely, exclusively focused on angst. And there's nothing wrong with angst, alright? Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with angst. Especially because youth is the time of our lives when we feel angst at the richest point, the most intense point ever in our lives. A lot of YA books have helped us cope during those really difficult times, and YA has helped us articulate the pains of adolescence transitioning to adulthood. I truly appreciate YA books, especially during those moments. It's just that I felt like back then a lot of the books were forgetting that youth is so much more than just our angst, if you get what I mean. We are beyond sad emotions, sad or angry emotions. We are more than that. I felt like they are somehow forgetting that youth is also fun and vibrant, and it's the time of our lives when we discover and learn how friendship works. It's a time when we think that love is somehow the center point of the entire universe. And love is not always sad or heartbreaking. Love is sweet. Love is cute. You know, I think that a lot of YA books were forgetting those things. And Fangirl is doing such a good job so far. 107 pages in, and I'm liking what I'm reading. But the top reason why this makes me happy is because it talks about writing, which I love. And the perspective of how fanfiction writers are holding the canon creations hostage is so awesome. That's so thought-provoking. I love how the story so far is consistent with the expectations teased by the title and the book cover design, Fangirl. It's about someone who is passionate with her fandom and her dreams of writing. I would say my absolute favorite would be Kat's first day in her introduction to fiction writing class, and the professor asked the class the reason that they write. I love when classroom scenes are so transporting that it somehow rekindles that anxiety of sitting there and somehow wishing and wanting for your name not to be called, but also your head is spinning with so many ideas on how you can impress the professor. I am a geek for those moments. Fanfiction is a significant platform for fans to not only express their devotion towards who they stand, but also, to somehow leverage their writing skills to an available and waiting demographic. You are serving content for an audience that you yourself is a part of. But yeah, where does the line blur between intellectual property rights and copyright infringement? Is it acceptable to capitalize on canon literary creations when you have woven a whole new dimension to the story while still retaining the characters and the world? Is that acceptable? Why are officially published retellings allowed then? And why is fanfiction always considered, a subpar genre versus that? I'm really scared. I really want this to not let me down because this is so good so far. Several hundred more pages to go. Fingers crossed. I'm on page 210 of Fangirl. Y'all, this book cover is truly the most misleading thing ever. Can book cover designers refrain from using candy colors? Especially if the conflicts and the struggles inside the book are beyond horror fiction levels of devastating? Can I do that, please? Can I sue it for emotional catfishing? Okay, this is what breaks my heart, okay? I have kept this book for, 5 years, I'm not sure. So I'm gonna assume that everyone and their grandma has already read this book. So if we haven't, I'm gonna go on a spoiler-infested rant. Bye. Alright, listen. This is what's heartbreaking about this book, okay? Every single one of the side characters, supporting characters, all of them, in one way or another, has tried to invalidate or make fun of Kat's decision to isolate herself from the world, and is always trying to make fun of her for not trying hard to fit in. Oh, this is why you're not improving and you're not growing, because you avoid people. Oh, this is why you're not cool and modern and progressive like the rest of us, because you don't act like a bad bitch. You don't go out to parties. You don't pass out drunk. You don't flunk out on your grades. You don't sleep with a new boy every other weekend. This is why you're gonna die alone. All of them acts that way towards Kath. Her family, her friends, every single one of them, okay? And you know what's sad? Kath always tries. Very reluctantly and very defiantly, but she still always tries. To compromise, to break out of her shell, to meet people halfway. And what do these other people do? All of them turns out to be undeniable, solid hard evidence and proof of why Kat's decision to not trust people is correct and absolutely for the best. They all let her down. No exceptions. Okay? Like, this makes me appreciate so much that my family, my friends, even my work colleagues are so good to me, because they always try to understand me, even if I identify a lot with Kat's social awkwardness and preference for solitude. They don't take that against me, or they don't consider that as my weakness. It's just Like, the stuff in this book, I know I'm just halfway through, right? I'm just on page 210. So, I know everyone's bound to have a character development, and everyone's gonna undergo a realization that they're wrong or whatever. But it's just so infuriating and so exhausting that this has always been the default setting in most YA books. Like, isolation is the worst crime that you can ever commit. Like, you deserve to be crucified for not doing your best to impress and fit in with people. Rainbow Rowell is definitely writing this to try to correct and break that notion, and I love that for us. It's just that I really wish that this anti-introvert world system is no longer normalized and propagated anymore. I don't know. I mean, I should have known, right? This guy is wearing plaid flannel shirt and has messy blonde-ish hair. So this is definitely Levi, right? Right? When will I stop ranting about the book cover design? Like, okay, so this is the character development that we're waiting for, or more precisely, the resolved miscommunication trope. Fine. I get it, okay? I like that Levi has always been the one person in the book who always helps Kath whenever no one is available for her, and how he always goes the extra mile to seek her out when Kath is in terrible situations, whenever she asks for help, or even when she's not asking for help. He is sensitive enough to look out for her and be there for her. I truly appreciate that. Also, how he has this non-toxic, very progressive, respectful towards women behavior, that somehow only exists for a fictional guy love interest in a romantic fiction. Just kidding. No, honestly, I'm not 100% against it now. I'm really trying my hardest to get on board with this. I mean, honestly, how on earth would I ever root for that other jerk who shamelessly stole Kat's credit on a story that they worked on together? That guy deserves jail time, bro. Unforgivable. But yeah, so Levi, I'm truly trying to get on board with this, right? Trust me. So he kisses another girl just a few days after he kisses Kath. And then when Kath confronts him about it, he explains that he has spent the last 4 months trying to flirt with Kath. And when they finally kiss, he thought Kath is not interested, so he didn't think it was a problem to kiss another girl just a few days after that happened. Basically, he's just saying that it was just a kiss. Okay, I respect that this author is unafraid of doing realistic character flaws. I get that. Fine. I will try to get behind this. I'm really gonna try so hard. Okay, fine. Sure. It's just that as a very die-hard Asian drama junkie for as long as I could remember, it's sort of a capital sin for the main love interest to kiss another person. It, it just works that way, okay? Uh, but okay, sure. Sure. We're gonna grow up, alright? We're gonna grow up. We're gonna go ahead and accept this. Realism. Realism, realism, realism. So I just finished Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Uh, I wasn't planning on recording this, but I just turned on the last page and I just felt the need to document it. I really wish you could see it right now. I don't have a good camera, but the goosebumps that I'm having right now. Oh my goodness. So I was not intending for the ending video to be like this. I really wish I could do this in a more polished, more collected closing video for this review, but today I went out with my siblings. We went out for groceries and we also had a dinner date by ourselves. We went to dinner. And I don't know, I was just feeling it so much. The affection that we have for siblings, especially when it coincided with the budding resolution that's happening in the book as the ending was approaching. So since I only have like 50 or 60 pages left when we came home, I decided to finish it when I hit the bed. And wow, what an ending. Wow. I think that's what excellent YA is, right? I try to recall my experience reading this book, and it's funny because it felt like I went through the whole spectrum of emotions from beginning to finish. I was excited and happy and thrilled and disappointed, enraged, sad, and the entire thing, right? And I think that is very much the embodiment of youth. When you experience this ocean of emotions inside you, everything and nothing all at once, you feel like everything is possible and impossible at the same time. The book has transported me to that feeling again, and that's great. But I guess more than anything else, an excellent YA would make you understand that youth is fleeting. It's a temporary thing, and eventually you're gonna grow up. It invites you to grow up. It somehow makes you look forward to things that will come. And Fangirl succeeded in doing that. I may not have agreed on everything 100%, but I think it's a worthy journey to have. I enjoyed it, really impressed by how it ended, and I will remember this for a long time. Will I cry after I finish recording this video? Probably. I wish you would also have more books that will give you a good cry when you needed it. I hope November is going well for you, and thank you so much for watching.